Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Delve and Dash, right here at Proficiency Bonus. Once again, my name is Michael, your most humble and merciful Dungeon Master, and we were just having a good conversation about how squishy low-level characters can be. And so we're glad that you're joining us. We're going to continue on with our adventure here. But first, we want to do a couple quick shout outs and thank yous to some of our sponsors. We'd like to thank Twitch, Streamlabs, Team MZ, Many Sided Dice, and our friends over at Little Dragon Corp for all their support. If you type in !Little Dragon in the chat, you'll get a quick link to their storefront. We can buy some cool dice and other RPG gear. And if you use that coupon code PROBONUS, you'll get 10% off of your order just because we sent you. So go check them out. Currently, our adventurers are headed into the Mere of Dead Men, which is a cold swamp, foggy swamp area. They followed a trail that led them to seemed to be some kind of camp, where they explored a little bit and found some canoes. They acquired one of these canoes and started heading into the watery marsh, following a set of crudely drawn symbols hanging and drawn on the trees. They quickly found that they were, some crocodiles decided that they might have a nice turtle-tasting meal on their hands, but the party made quick work of them by killing a few and scaring off the others. And that's where we left off last time. So now we have you guys surrounded by a few dead corpses of crocodiles floating in the swampy water. The adventure is yours, friends. What would you like to do?
Did my beads fall off the boat when the boat got flipped?
Did your what?
The beads that I hung on the little branch of the boat?
Let's find out. I will let the dice decide. No, they're still there.
All right, cool. It's good luck, I'm telling you.
We're currently in the water, right? Except for
yeah, some of you are. I think Franklin and Shard and
I'm back on.
Yeah, that's.
I'm still in the boat.
Is there enough foliage around that you can kind of climb up the side of a tree and get back into the boat somewhere?
Oh yeah, you guys could pull the boat off to the side. There's like a place next to a tree with low branches. You guys could easily do that, yeah.
Because getting into a canoe in the middle of the water is actually very difficult.
It is very hard. It is.
That's why I'm just gonna continue swimming.
Just gonna continue swimming.
That's right.
We'll row the boat towards Shard where he's going, and try and situate to where he can get back on.
Oh yeah.
I will also row the boat because
Well, yeah, this is going to be very difficult for both of us.
So you guys row the boat over. You can see Shard kind of swimming over to a tree that has some low hanging branches. He's easily able to kind of push himself up and grab a hold of the branches. At this time, everybody make a perception check for me, please.
14.
Okay.
9.
6.
Ooh, you got some water in your ears, Franklin.
Yeah, probably.
18.
18. Okay. Shard, as you're pulling yourself up, you and Dusk hear what sounds like from a distance water splashing and voices. Sounds like they're coming from the direction in which you are traveling, but they seem to be around a bend and hidden behind some foliage.
Is there any land that we could actually walk, or can we only use a canoe or a boat at this point?
There are some areas that look like they have some condensed foliage, but it doesn't look like there's actually ground there. It looks like the trees just kind of, the brush and bushes kind of just disappear into water. If you ever seen those shows where like people in like South Florida are riding on those boats that have the big fans on the back, like, and they're just like zinging through water and marsh. Yeah, like swamp. Yeah, like
that's
swamp.
what it. Okay.
That's kind of what this place is like. It's just imagine lots of trees and really hard to see because there's a misty fog patching the landscape as well.
I will signal Franklin over if he's not by our canoe, and just make sure he sees that we're kind of stopping for a second.
Okay.
I mean, I was following you guys.
Okay, cool, perfect. So I don't know if anybody else heard. There's voices up ahead.
I mean, I don't know how to stop the boat.
I mean, we stopped it by running into a tree.
I'm wiggling the paddles.
as we're getting close to the shard.
I'm gonna grab onto the side of the boat with my foot.
Okay.
Finish pulling it, and then just like hold it to the tree.
Okay, you're holding the boat against the tree as you're hanging there.
Yeah.
Okay. What languages does everyone understand?
Common, Aquan, and Draconic.
Okay.
Common and Elvish.
Common and Elvish.
I'm assuming
Common,
they're not speaking
Elvish, Giant,
Yeah.
Sylvan.
Okay.
Common, Elvish, Giant, Primordial.
Okay. Franklin, as these voices are getting closer, you can make out a language that you understand. It's in Draconic. And you can hear...
I was really hoping you were going to say Aquan. I knew it was going to be Draconic, but I was hoping for Aquan.
You hear what sounds like very simple phrases. Things like, keep rowing, just a little ahead. And then you hear some Draconic and, we're supposed to bring the one with the markings back with us. I thought I heard something ahead. Be careful. Look out.
I'll translate for people.
So you're translating it all? Yeah. It's like, it sounds like there are definitely a lot of splashes sounding as well in the midst of all this language that you hear.
Is there a place nearby where we could kind of like tuck the canoe into a little inlet in the marsh somewhere?
Make a perception check, Shard.
Sort of off the main path?
Mm-hmm. Make a perception check.
Or we could flip it.
That's what I was
8.
Make it look like they got eaten by alligator.
You spot one, but you're not 100% sure that it's like actually across the open area of the water, so you're afraid that you might expose yourself getting there and rowing to it.
I think we should flip the canoe.
Yeah, just flip the canoe and make it look like
we all just
the
hide underneath.
crocodiles ate the people in here. Yeah, hide under the boat.
I'll just disguise myself as a turtle.
Make yourself look like a crocodile.
Okay, so I'm gonna go onto the edge and just basically, like, jump into the water. Well, no, you gotta flip it. So you gotta be on the boat. So I'm gonna step on the side. And
if you both do it at once, and just do the lean over at once, and try to get it to tip.
Franklin will help you will help you flip the boat.
Yes.
He's got the strength.
So
and then I get underneath the canoe. I'm in the water underneath of it.
Okay, so you guys flip this canoe. What's Shard doing? Are you getting in the canoe or are you staying in the tree?
Is there a body of a crocodile nearby floating around?
Yeah, there is.
Cool.
It's slowly just like floating in the water.
If it's close by, I want to see if I can grab hold of a crocodile body that doesn't have like obvious gash wounds in it or something.
Okay.
And just sort of like pull it back into the marsh a bit.
Okay.
And basically like just sort of hide behind it and keep hold of it and make it look like there's a crocodile watching the canoe from the marsh.
Okay. Okay.
Can I conjure a lizard man arm?
Where are you gonna put the lizard man arm?
In the water.
Like just floating without attached to a body? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. You're gonna put it like out in the middle of the water?
Yeah, it's glowing.
Okay, it's a glowing lizard man arm. Fantastic. I love it.
Great.
So I'm gonna call this, you guys are trying to be stealthy, so go ahead and everybody make a stealth check here.
Okay.
I'm gonna give everybody advantage because of what you guys have described to me for what you guys are doing. So
thank God, because I rolled a 1.
I have a question.
Sure.
Because I'm just trying to disguise myself as a turtle, because I already am a turtle.
Yeah.
Could I use charisma instead? Because charisma is a better stat.
What? I guess it'd be a deception check for you. Yeah. So that's based on charisma, right?
Okay. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yes, because you're trying to deceive them into thinking that you're a turtle. So I'll accept that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
Okay.
19.
19.
23.
23. Ooh.
15.
15. Very good, guys. Very good. Good thing for that advantage, huh?
Yeah.
Good thinking. Good thinking, folks. So, Dusk, you're under this canoe, and there's a little bit of air in there, so your head's like sticking out, and you're staring. You can barely see Zin there, because it's kind of even with dark vision, it kind of makes it all grayish underneath. Franklin, as you're like hanging out there, just keeping an eye out as your turtle shell just floats a little bit above the water, it appears that there are 3 canoes rowing up towards the direction in which you guys came from. And in the 3 canoes, each one of them has 3 of these lizard folk inside them. So 9 in total. And it seems like all of them are rowing with their oars and heading upstream until the one in the front gets a little bit closer and then slows down a little bit. And Franklin, you can hear, "What is that floating there?" And they get a little bit closer to this glowing lizard folk arm in the water, and one of them reaches down and touches him. "No, do not touch it. Bad omen." And they all start looking around through this area. The crocs have gone mad. Stand your ground. Snapjaw, keep a lookout. We don't know where there could be more. Let's hurry. Double the pace. We must be at the roadhouse by nightfall to collect the goods. And then the splashing continues. And it slowly gets quieter and quieter as they move off upstream and disappear.
I will slowly approach the canoe with the crocodile body.
Okay.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and sneak up on whoever is the closest to me. I'm scared.
Of your party or of the lizard man?
Oh, no, the party.
Okay, yes. Let's see if the dice can tell us which one is closest to you. It's either going to be Dusk or Zin. It's Zin.
Cool.
I cast magic missile at 2nd level.
As you guys just pull up the canoe, just as the sound seems to dissipate from these folks going by, Dusk and Zin, you're met with this crocodile immediately in your face, and you're gonna cast the magic missile at the crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would also stab it with my short sword.
Stab with
Yeah.
a short sword. Shard, as you're holding this crocodile up, a short sword blade goes right through the back of it and stops like 3 inches away from your face. As it gets super impacted with all these. I guess what did you say your magic missiles looked like again?
I think I said they were like black trails with purple darts, I
Okay.
think.
So these purple
With
darts
like silver spirals around them.
impact this thing ferociously, leaving black marks all over the surface of this crocodile hide.
I just don't think right now is the appropriate
Terrible timing.
Pranks.
Awful timing. Not a
I'll
good plan.
start flipping the boat back up and
Bad
So,
omen.
how-
pull it over to the tree so everyone can climb back inside.
Double the pace to the shore that we were at.
That's good. We can get to their camp while they're not there.
hopefully there's not many more at the camp.
There were a total of 3 canoes with 3 lizard folk in each one.
Okay.
Yeah, because Zin and Dusk, you guys would have heard them, but you wouldn't have had eyes on them from your location.
Mhm.
Shard and Franklin were the only two that have been able to like see, and Franklin was the only one that was able to understand anything that they were saying. So it sounded like a bunch of gibberish to Shard.
Well, let's try and get to their camp as soon as possible then.
Agreed.
Maybe we can set up an ambush on their way back if we need to, but if we don't have to fight them, that is ideal.
Yeah, probably. That's probably yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Without further ado, then I think we're gonna start rowing.
Get back in the boat. Keep
Keep
heading.
Keep rowing. You guys keep rowing. You keep following. The rest of the day is pretty uneventful, and you're noticing that you've been rowing for quite a while, twisting and turning through this watery trail that you're now following.
Some people have been rowing for a while. I don't row the whole time.
You do see other traces of wildlife, but nothing that looks extremely hungry and tries to eat you again. The landscape doesn't change very much throughout the course of this travel. It seems like without these things hanging from the trees or without these markings on the trees, it'd be easy to get lost. But you guys following this trail, easy to find where you're going. It's starting to get dark. And you still haven't arrived at anywhere that you would consider to be a destination or campsite or anything of that nature.
And we didn't sleep last night.
No, we did. We
We
got a
did.
full night's sleep. It just we went to bed early.
Yeah, we went to bed very early.
You guys woke up at like 3 a.m, I think it was,
Yeah.
and you started
Okay.
this venture. Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like we're gonna be camping in the boat for tonight. We could pull it off to the side, try and find a place we could hitch to a tree, and then head out in the morning. I think might get a little bit more dangerous at night on the water. So
Can I spot any trees large enough that one or two people could maybe climb up into the tree?
Make another perception check.
Okay.
Don't forget if you guys have DM's inspiration too. I think a lot of you have been hoarding some of that stuff.
I don't have any.
No?
I used
I always
all
think
of
that
mine to
exists.
save Franklin from dying.
Doop. Sorry, what is that? That is a 24.
24. Oh, yes. You find a tree that you think probably 3 of you could use to sleep in.
Cool. I will make careful note of its location relative to the nearest trail marker,
Mhm.
and over there might be the best we can find.
sounds to me.
Seems like it's got a good bit of brush around it too, like good cover. So it looks like a really good spot.
We'll row over to there then.
Okay. We're over there. You guys tying off the canoe to the tree.
So it doesn't go anywhere. Yep.
Okay, Franklin, where are you going to sleep? Because I don't. I'm gonna assume that
This
Franklin's
tree?
probably. Are you gonna want to try to get in the tree?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Franklin's a heavy guy.
Yeah,
So I just kind of want to. Is there a way that I could get myself stuck in the tree next to the tree at water level, so I won't just drift off while I'm sleeping?
Well, yeah, you could probably do that. There's probably a tree next to it that has a split in the actual branches that you could kind of tuck yourself in between.
That's what I'll do,
Okay.
and then I'll sleep in my shell.
Sleep in your shell. Okay, nice. The rest of you making yourself comfortable within the tree branches above. Does anybody have anything in particular that they're doing to make themselves more comfortable?
All right, I'm gonna take a
Taking
row.
leeches off.
What's that?
Are there enough branches and brush around that we could maybe just collect a couple things and try and make like a little tiny
Camouflage.
camouflage if necessary, or even like just a little canopy between
Oh,
two
okay.
branches?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's dark and you don't have a lot of time, so it's gonna be very crude. but you could probably put something together where you have a little bit of a extra cover. I don't know if any of you have materials that you could like tie a blanket up for a hammock or something like that. Or
That's what I'm doing.
you know, oh, that's what you're
Yeah,
doing?
something like that.
Okay.
I'm putting a rope across with my mage hand
Okay.
across 2 branches.
Okay.
I have 50 foot of rope, so I assume I could like cut it at like the 25 foot mark and tie 1 row, and then do it again for another row, and put like what's it called? Hold on, opening explorer's pack. The bedroll. Put the bedroll like
yeah.
put the 2 ropes inside the insides of the bedroll, so I could just hang on the bedroll.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, very good idea. So
I think I would just be tying myself to the tree.
just wrapping it around
So I don't fall.
That's good.
So.
I like it. But you guys get as comfortable as you can for being in a tree and not really having an area of dry land to set up a tent or lay bedrolls down. Who's anybody taking any watches, or are you guys all going to go to sleep? Does anybody have anything particular they would like to do here?
I would like to set watches.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So who wants?
I will happily take the first watch.
Okay.
This way I could pick leeches off during my watch.
You probably accumulated a good number of them swimming in that water.
I don't have dark vision, so maybe I'll take the last watch when it's a bit closer.
After 4 hours, I can stay up. I only need 4 hours of sleep. So I don't know how long are these watches? 2 hours, right?
2 hours apiece, yeah, usually.
So if someone wants to go after Franklin, I will take the final one.
Right?
Or Vix can.
You know, Vix do it for you?
Yeah, he has dark vision, so.
Okay. All right. So, you guys get comfortable. Franklin takes the first watch. He's busy picking leeches off of himself. Aside from hearing the sounds of wildlife in the swamp, you do hear what sounds like a couple crocodiles feeding quite a distance away from you guys, but it doesn't appear that any danger has come near you during your watch, Franklin. And you wake up Zin to take his watch with his Vix sugar glider companion.
I just poke. Yeah, I poke the sugar glider. He goes out. I just roll over and go back to sleep.
Okay. Okay.
He knows what to do.
Okay. Sugar glider ends up coming back after 2 hours time of just kind of hopping around. Same things, rustles of wildlife hunting at night, frogs chirping in the distance. But nothing seems to come near you guys or offer any danger during this watch. And you're able to wake up dusk to take the rest of the 4-hour watch. Dusk, it's at about... It's near the end of your watch, so it's not quite morning yet, but it's getting close. You hear the splashing sounds of water again, and you hear voices.
Voices that I can understand, or voices that are in a different language?
Voices you can understand.
Yeah.
Sounds like in common. And it's very hard to tell all of the words, but you can hear what sounds like to be a humanoid voice. And you can hear what sounds like oars splashing through the water.
It's not Jamna, is it? Please,
And-
God, tell me it's not Jamna.
No, it doesn't sound like Jamna. It sounds like another voice that's saying, yes, sir, I've been following these markings. It seems that we shouldn't be too far now. The castle should be just beyond this point. And then you hear a familiar voice. A familiar voice of Asbera Joss, the man who had the strange hat on with the markings under his head, under his hat. And he's, oh, that's good. I can't bear to stay one more moment in this wretched place. Get me there quickly. I'm sure the lizard folk will be just a moment behind us with the merchandise. And from what you can see, there's only one canoe with 4 individuals in it. One of them is Asbarajos, and it looks like 3 other people that you do recognize from the caravan. They look like cultist guards.
I mean, as long as they don't notice us, I'm not gonna make any movements or anything like that. Just basically keep an eye on them as they're going by.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them pass.
Okay.
But like I said, hopefully they don't see us.
Okay. Yeah, they don't seem to be looking around too much. One thing that you do pick up on is as they are heading down, one of them does mention a Lizardfolk checkpoint. It should be just a little bit down the stream.
Okay.
And at that point, the 8-hour rest is up. The light starts to peer through the mist a little bit of the early morning. And you guys all come to consciousness for the next day in the mirror.
Cool.
As I'm waking up everybody, I will. Did the lizard folk actually go by during the night too, or are they still the other that they said that they'd be coming by?
They have not come by yet, no. But from what this person said, they should be following behind at some point.
Soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll relay all the information that I've found out about that canoe that went by to everybody. And also, lizard folk should be coming back through relatively soon. So,
What if we ambush those boats?
Do not know if fighting in the water is to our advantage.
We're in the tree right now.
well, yeah, but I don't know if fighting them in general is the best idea. There is a checkpoint coming up that we'll have to find a way around.
Could be an opportunity to catch up to this man who has been with the cultists. He might be more useful to interrogate.
Could be. Probably already made it past the checkpoint, I would assume right now, though.
Do any of you have magic that could make us look like lizard men come to join them?
I have magic that can make me look like a lizard man.
I do not. And of course, Franklin can be any kind of animal, so we don't have to worry about him. It would just be me and you, Shard. That would be the issue.
I
Perhaps-
also speak their language. You guys could be prisoners that we are just ferrying through.
Can you look like a lizard man, Franklin?
Absolutely not.
Right?
So
he could look like one of those giant lizards that they had though as pets. But it'd be kind of odd to have the giant lizard speaking Draconic.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Perhaps
I could make myself look like a lizard man with their tongue cut out.
Perhaps you could move your mouth and Franklin could speak.
That won't work. I promise that won't work.
That would be awesome. That would be
Mike,
awesome.
Would I have any idea how likely it is that lizard folk who live out in a swamp like this would bother taking prisoners?
Go ahead and make let's just call this a nature check.
12. It's not bad.
They might they might be these more primitive type of peoples, lizard folk in general, could be curious about other individuals kind of trudging along in their area. It's hard. It's 100% hard to tell.
Lizard folk are usually very territorial
They can
and
be.
don't like visitors.
They don't like visitors. They can be territorial, but then again, they might take in somebody and make them just do their work for them or something like that. You never know.
Another option is if this is a checkpoint that we stay in the boat. We don't know, but if we can stay in the water, what we could do is Ben and Franklin change into looking like lizard folk and that lizard, and then me and you, Shard, get into the water and just like cling on to the bottom, and just hopefully we can hold our breath long enough to get past the checkpoint.
Depending on where this checkpoint is, we might be able to swim around.
That's also another option. I think we just need to get an eye on the checkpoint.
I can swim ahead and be back.
Okay. Well, we don't know how far ahead this is. So maybe we should all just go. Take
Yeah,
it
I think we're
slow.
too far deep into it now to send one person.
We can still try to keep a lookout in case we get the chance to enact a plan before we are spotted.
Definitely. Yeah.
So Shard starts rowing. Okay. As you guys make your way down, probably another 30 minutes pass by, and Franklin, you start to hear voices before you see anything. Sounds like voices in Draconic coming from downstream.
I will translate.
Okay. It just sounds like somebody saying to someone else, "It's perhaps they're returning. I hear something coming this way."
Okay, so that's... They already heard us. That's not good. Stop the canoe if we can before we see them.
You and I
will help
should...
them stop canoe.
Okay. Yeah, it's too foggy,
We've,
so no one had... You guys don't have line of sight on them, and they don't have line of sight on you. But it seems like the splashing of the oars and the just movement of the canoe in general in this area, they can hear you. So you're within earshot. Just the fog is too thick. Nobody can see.
I will leave my pack in the canoe.
Okay.
Covered in the furs. Just try to look like there's some cargo in the canoe.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, I will do the same, because I'm not going to get the water with all that stuff.
And then as quietly as possible, and without hopefully tipping the canoe, get in the water and try and be sneaky and just kind of swim behind it. And possibly if we can, as soon as we figure out what sort of side the canoe they're on relative to us, just swim along the opposite side.
Okay. Perfect.
I will be doing the same exact thing.
Okay.
I'll turn myself into a lizard man.
Okay.
One of ones. I don't know. I don't think I saw any of them. One of the ones we fought in the caravan.
Yeah.
The one that had the beads.
The one that had
And
the
I'll
beads?
pick up the beads and put the beads around my neck.
Okay. You did. Okay. You got the beads around
But
your neck?
I'll make it. My tongue's cut out, so I don't have a tongue.
You don't have a tongue. Okay.
Yeah.
The beasts that were lizards,
Yeah.
were they an animal that Franklin can wild shape into?
I'm pretty sure, yes. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay.
It would be a giant lizard. That is a challenge rating 1/4, 1/4.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
And it has a climb speed of 30 feet. Does that matter?
No,
Not
it's
really.
just swim and fly.
I would be losing.
It's just swim and fly, right? It's limited
Yeah.
by? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I could cast Tidal Wave.
He's like, screw it, and just.
That's if things go south. That's if things go south. Keep it
Yeah,
in the back.
good idea. If we
That's-
get to fight them.
That's the plan B right there, tidal wave.
Not even sure why I prepared the spell. I need to look at what it does.
Wait a second. Hold on. I can just cast water breathing on all of us.
I could too if I prepared it.
No, I did. Because it's a new day and I wanted to prepare that. Because I wanted to get rid of grease. Because I had grease for some reason.
Oh, I love that grease spell. You just hadn't really found a way. There hasn't been too many moments to use that spell so far.
Yeah. I could cast water breathing on this.
We're already in the water, man. I mean,
you
Alright,
still
we'll go
could.
through with this plan.
You still could.
We'll go through this. That's cool.
Okay.
For my disguise self, it's, along with the cut off tongue, I don't want to look perfectly fine with a cut off tongue. So I'm going to put like a scar across like my left cheek, coming down like to the chin, and then like a slash across my right eye, and some scars on the arms and stuff. Look like I've been through some really tough battle.
Okay. You got it. And I apologize, Twitch chat. For some reason, Franklin and Zin on my chat box, on my video boxes, are in the wrong spot. And I don't know how that happened, because I had...
How did that happen midstream?
I don't know. I have no idea. It just happened that way. So I'm going to switch them around real quick. Sorry if it's a little bit robot-y on the stream there, guys. I apologize. It's going crazy because
Oh wow!
technology.
What the heck?
Technology. There we go. I apologize. It is fixed now. I've got everybody in the right assigned seat. Okay, so say that again. Were you guys not worrying about the water breathing then?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm putting a scar down my left from my mouth to my chin.
Okay.
A gash across the other eye so I can't open it. Just a bunch of scars on my arms and stuff.
Okay.
Make it look like I've been to a fight.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, I have a question for you, and it's very, very important.
Okay.
A material component I need for tidal wave is a drop of water. Do you think I have that?
I think
No.
you got a lot of those.
one drop of water, no more, no less.
Just one. You have way too many drops of water here. You cannot cast that.
Yeah, apparently.
So Franklin, are you transforming into this giant lizard then?
Yes, I am.
All right, inside. So now in the canoe we have a really gross-looking, beat-up lizard man with a lizard man giant lizard companion, a bunch of gear covered in furs in the midst of the canoe. Wow, you two are kind of. Are you two just like to the sides of the canoe now, just like watching to see what's going to happen here for the time being? Dusk and Shard.
Hang behind the canoe as out of sight as possible until I figure out, relative to the canoe, what side these people are on, and then going to the opposite side.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically keeping trying to listen for their voices.
Okay.
And once they get close, I'm just gonna go underneath the water and hold on to the thing and try and hold my breath.
And just float underneath the canoe as you go.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and just hold on to the bottom and go with it. So.
Okay. Perfect. Everybody make.
I'll conjure up a box as well.
Okay.
A 3x3 box with the symbol on it.
It's glowing.
Yeah, it looks really special.
Okay.
It's a really special box.
3 foot by 3
Good
foot.
thing lizard men are very dumb.
Glowing box. Is it? Are you holding it?
No, I have it like sitting on top of all the stuff.
Okay, it's sitting on top of the stuff. Excellent. Okay, so as you guys begin to approach, go ahead and everybody roll a perception check for me. Franklin, I do believe you keep your own wisdom stat.
Yeah,
so.
I do, but I got a 6.
9.
8.
12.
Woo! Woo! Shard, you're the high number here. It's, Shard, as you're looking, you guys are approaching something. It looks as almost like there's a little bit of muddy ground that appears on the sides of this stream sticking up. And you can see out of the water are these, it would look like, you know how castles that didn't quite have the stone walls around them used like palisades made out of wooden planks that were pointed at the top of them. They kind of look like that sticking out of the water, but they're not super close together. It looks like there's more like a fence of these jagged posts just like sticking up out of the water. In the stream, it kind of just pinches off the stream a little bit that only like maybe 2 canoes wide can maybe fit through. And it looks like there's a gate on this thing made of the same wooden palisade kind of material. And it seems like they're open at this point. On the muddy bank sitting next to the edge, there is a Lizardfolk holding a spear, just standing there kind of watching as the canoe starts to take form out of the fog. And Shard, you're the only one that picks up on there's a crude little, what seems to be wooden, not tree house, but like, people build hunting stands up in the middle of the trees and stuff. It looks like there's one of those with 2 Lizardfolk in it on your side, and 2 Lizardfolk are on the opposite side, but they're standing on the ground, like looking. So there are Lizardfolk on both sides of the canoe.
Do I see that?
You guys only see the ones that rolled lower than a 10. Only see yours. You would see the 2 that are down below, but you don't catch the stand above on the left.
Okay.
And Dusk, you only see the 2 on the ground as well because you're on that side of the canoe. You can't really get a good view of the other side.
I instantly go underwater.
Okay.
Start holding my breath.
If you're already underwater, I don't think I have any way of pointing it out to you.
Okay.
But I'll attempt.
I'm going to get my phone out here since this is more of a roleplay encounter right now. And I'm going to put a stopwatch on this. How long can you hold your breath, Dusk?
Well, it's 1 plus your con modifier, right?
I believe so, yes.
So 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. I'm going to put the timer on.
I wish you guys would have said something. I could have just cast really quick.
3 minutes. I've got it going. Dusk is under the water, holding his breath.
I'm going to dip under the water.
Okay.
And I'm going to tap Dusk, and then I'm going to point in both directions, and then make the swimming motion, and just like gesture that maybe you should probably try and swim under the canoe and get as far forward as you possibly can within your breath limit.
Okay. I will trust his judgment, and I will do that.
Okay. Got you.
I'll start swimming forward. So.
And I will do the same. I'll just trying to like swim underneath the canoe and then past it, hoping their eyes will stay on the canoe and they won't be able to see us under the water.
How long can Shard? Does Shard have to hold his breath?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I think maybe water genasi don't, but I can hold my breath for 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, so you get an extra minute.
Yep.
So you guys are approaching, and the Lizardfolk is looking into at the canoe as it approaches, and then starts barking something over to a couple of the others. It sounds like, we need to inspect this one. Close the gate. And then you see the two up in the top little stand start to rotate something, and it seems like there's a rope attached to this thing. It starts to close. Dusk, you can see this thing starting to close under the water. You're really close to it. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Boy.
To see if you can swim through it before it shuts. Shard, if you're doing the same, you may do the same thing.
5. I'm rolling really well today.
I am going to... I'm going to burn my point of inspiration.
Okay.
On this, because that was a waste. Holy cow. I rolled a 5 and a 2, so that's an 11.
Some encounters you're not meant to win.
The gate closes in front of your faces. You think you might be able to squeeze through it, but you're not sure if it's going to like rattle or break the post and give away your position. What would you like to do? You're starting to feel the pressure of the water on your chest.
I would like. So I know where the palisade that these 2 lizardmen are on is, right?
Yes. You know that. You know that right now you're not really visible by them.
All right. Feeling along the gate, could I possibly? Is this gate like super wide, like it reaches from one palisade to the next?
It seems to go from one palisade to the next. Mm-hmm.
Do I think that I could possibly like crawl my way along under the water, this gate till I get to the palisade itself, and then climb up the side of the palisade?
Make a survival check on this one.
Cool.
Dusk, you're feeling the effects of being under the water.
How foggy was it to where they couldn't see? Like, if black stuff started going into the water, would they notice that? Do I think
from this close? Because basically, there's a lizard man probably 5 feet above you.
Okay.
Like, standing near you, but is looking at the canoe right now as it approaches.
Okay, I'm just going to use my teleportation to go onto the other side of the gate as far as I can and within 30 feet, because I don't know how far I can see.
Okay.
But just go over there, and then I'm going to try and just very quickly rise up and take a breath.
Okay.
And try and go back under without anybody noticing me.
Okay, because you're on the other side and they're not looking at you, I'd like you to go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
Okay.
Because it seems like their attention right now is on the canoe.
Well, thank God I'm a rogue. That's 22.
22. Perfect. You barely reach your mouth outside of the water and just go... And then just slowly descend back under the water. Dusk, what are you doing? What was your roll?
Huh?
Oh, not Dusk. I mean, Shard. What was your roll?
Okay.
12.
Sorry about that. 12. You do find an area under the water where the palisade, there's one of the pieces of wood underneath is rotted out, and you kind of pull it open, and it looks like you can squeeze yourself through underneath.
Oh, cool. Where does that put me? Does it put me like basically past the gate, or does it kind of put me inside the structure of the palisade?
Well, it puts you on the other side of the gate, in the water, basically where Dusk had teleported to, on the other side.
Okay.
It's not really like a wall per se. It's very crudely made and it looks very damaged. But yeah, you're able to kind of pull that part out a little bit and you could squeeze yourself through.
I am still going to try and get close to the palisade with the lizardmen on it.
Okay, sure.
But basically, I'll use my extra minute to get right up to it. So I'm behind the gate, and they probably aren't going to be looking for me there. Mm-hmm. Take a breath, and while I'm taking a breath, get a look at it and see if it's possible to climb to the top.
Okay.
Or try to ascertain how good they got.
Okay.
I will also be following him, as long as I could see him when he got through the gate.
Sure. So go ahead and make a stealth check for you, Shard, to be able to get out there and take a breath without them noticing. You also have advantage because they're not looking at you. Zin and Franklin, the gate shut in front of you, and the canoe is coasting. Franklin, you hear the one lizard man that's standing at the base of this place say, "Why have you come? State your purpose."
Nah.
Oh, this one, no, speak.
Ah.
What is wrong with you? As the canoe kind of bumps into the wooden gate, as the water kind of leads you there, and you're pointing your tongue going, ah. Oh. Must have been removed or something.
Ah.
Make a deception check for me, please. And Franklin, you're able to hear what they're saying in your form.
Franklin licks his eye.
Yes.
And it's very slow, and if they watch, it's kind of awkward when he does it, and he puts his tongue back in his mouth.
Gosh.
Franklin, go ahead and take a point of DM's inspiration.
Yes!
What was your roll?
9.
9. One of them, one steps curiously closer to you. What is that in the canoe with you? And he's looking behind you, and you can see that box that's like glowing.
Franklin is gonna like tap the box.
I like point at the logo on the box.
Oh. Merchandise from the roadhouse.
Ah,
This one must come. And then you hear from above in the top balcony, oh, wait. Does this one bear scars on its face? And the other one looks up to him, looks back at you suspiciously, Zin. Why, yes. No tongue and severe scars upon the face. Oh, that is a mythical shaman lizard folk from beyond. I've heard many stories of this lizard. Those claws are from the Black Dragon. It was said in history of all of our people that Clawface would return. They kind of looking at you, they're chattering back and forth. I don't want any trouble. Let's let them die.
nah.
And you see the one next to you just goes like this. It starts backing up a little bit. And then the gates start to open. As the rope starts to be rapidly wound back up from the top. Shard, as you guys come out of the water back beyond this place, it looks like this is very crudely built on 4 legs, and it has crisscrossing patterns that go up it, so it looks like they just use those crisscrossing logs to climb up. It's only about 15 foot high.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like they are opening the gate and letting the canoe pass.
I just turned to my pet lizard, and I pat him on the head and sit down and start rowing the boat.
Okay. Their eyes are glued to you, and they're the one that went back like this is just in awe, just watching. And then you hear the one from above say, "And there goes our great deliverer."
I'm gonna stare at that one and lick my other eye.
So running through, instead of swimming back to the canoe, I want to swim sort of just directly backwards away from the palisade.
Okay.
Underwater to get as far away as I can before going up and then return the canoe.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, same here, of course.
They might watch them row away for a while.
Okay. Yeah. After seeing that moment and watching them all watching the canoe, you guys think better of it and swim out around. Eventually, you do meet back up with the canoe, where Clawface resides with his eye-licking lizard companion.
Well, that went a little bit better than I thought it would. You don't actually not have a tongue.
I know, it's just funny.
Okay.
That's it. That's all. I don't really know what they said at all. I was just angry at whatever was happening. He looked aggressive, so I pointed at the box. Seemed like it worked. They seemed like they were worshiping me for some reason.
Maybe you should keep this disguise in mind if we may need it again,
Yeah, I'll remember this exact one.
Yeah. Perfect.
They referenced a claw face. I don't know if that was... That's all I made out was claw face. Felt like it was a name or something.
Maybe.
No idea.
All right. Well, we'll climb back into the canoe.
Okay.
Hopefully not flipping it.
Okay. You guys take a moment to... You guys pull over next to a tree and use the tree to help you with the branches once again. You guys are back in the canoe and continue heading off on your trail.
I get back in the water as a turtle.
Okay, you're gonna go back. Go back
just swim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. After a little bit more time of travel, you guys see that it begins to open up a bit, and there's a little bit of a clearing. And as this clearing opens up, you can see within the fog what looks to be a silhouette. It looks like a mountain at first. But the closer you get, you realize that looks like some kind of castle or keep. And it starts to come into view, and you can see that there is a multi-storied castle quickly approaching as you guys are making your way down. You're approaching this castle in the middle of the mirror. And you start to make your way, and it seems like as if the water turns to the left from the direction that you're going, and you can see there is what looks to be a barred shore right there with looks to be a half dozen of these canoes just parked along the shore.
Are there meters? Sorry. I don't pay for parking.
There's one Lizardfolk with like a strange hat on and is writing on a piece of parchment and slapping tickets on them.
Okay, so we don't see any more lizard men around.
Make a perception check. We're not rolling.
10.
We're not rolling well tonight, folks.
This die has given me like 5s and 2s tonight. Got a few good rolls, but
you don't see any lizard men. You do notice to your right, just to the right of where all these canoes are, there is a wooden palisade wall that looks better built. It looks like it's surrounding a small area to your right. It looks just like oblong shaped, kind of oval, but not really like perfectly designed and symmetrical. Over to your right, it looks like it has some kind of gate on it. Looks like it has some thatching and some twine that's used to like hold it together and things.
okay. Does that look like it leads in to this building?
It seems as if,
or just is it separate?
It seems like a separate structure. Yeah. Seems just like a fenced-in area.
If I don't see anyone on top of the palisade, I'll recommend that maybe we should go check that out first, because it might give us a view of this place we're trying to break into.
How tall up is it?
Let me double check. Just to be sure if it says. It's 5 foot high.
Oh.
So honestly, it's like a fence. It's not really like a
okay.
wall.
Never mind.
It's not a wall. It's more like a fence. You guys are lower than the land right now, so it seems taller from where you are. But if you approached it, you'd be able to look right over top of it. Most of you.
Well, part of our mission was just to find where it was going. So I have a feeling this is where it stops.
Are you sure?
I'm not.
Maybe this is just another
100%
checkpoint.
Sure, but this looks like it could be a fortress of they're stopping at.
I can be a spider.
Yes. Can. We can try and sneak in if we want and poke around, but I don't think our mission isn't to stop them. It's just to find where they are going, what they were doing. So
turn around now, we may meet the other lizard men coming back with more stuff. If there was a place,
I was thinking maybe we find a place that we can hide, wait for them to get here, see where they go, and then maybe set back out. Not necessarily taking the same river channel, maybe going through the marshes, so we don't have to go back to the checkpoint.
Along the way with the markers, our journey could be very tricky.
Could be. If we go back through the part with checkpoint in it, though, we might have a fight on our hands. I don't know if our luck is going to extend that way
You can
twice.
fix them.
That's
So what you're telling me,
I think so too, but it's,
you're telling me that we came all this way to get to this castle to find out this is where it's going, and now we're gonna turn around and get on another freaking caravan to go all the way back down.
no. We don't have to get on another caravan. We can just go there ourselves. We were just doing the caravanning stuff to get to, just keep an eye on them.
We were about to fight because I was not going to get on another caravan.
But this is what we've been getting paid for.
That's true.
To just find where they were going.
Seems like a pretty boring job, but true. That's fine.
It's definitely worth the money, though.
I expected to go farther than this.
Would there possibly be any kind of settlement, even an incredibly rural one, that I might know about? Or more particularly, know the direction to from here besides just going straight back the way we came?
Let me check something very quickly. And I'm thinking...
Even if it's not a settlement, maybe an encampment that I would know about.
Let's see.
It's a long shot, but...
The problem with this is you are in this mirror, and it's very, very hard to determine even the direction that you're traveling.
Yep.
I can't pronounce this. I probably ain't gonna pronounce this right, but there is I believe, a settlement called Lylon, which is to the north of the Mirror of Dead Men. But you may have heard of it, but may not know exactly what it is. That's Dungeon Master speak for I haven't had time to research it yet. So.
Where on the map are we right now? Where is the Mirror of Dead Man?
I'll shift ping
Dead
you. You
Man.
ready?
Yeah.
Boom. Right there.
I didn't see it.
I shift pinged you. Should have brought you there. Oh, wait a second. I have an idea why I didn't do it. Let me try again. Roll 20. Did that work?
Yes.
That's where you are.
Okay, so we are on that red dot then.
Well, you're probably more to the left of that red dot now because you went into the mirror. That red dot.
Was that red dot
is a Karnath Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
And then you went into the mirror from that point.
Gotcha.
Yep.
There's a chance we could just go to the sea.
Yeah, you guys are traveling. You're traveling west into the mirror, and you all know that eventually it does reach the coast, the Sword Coast.
We could just take canoe, ride them down to the coast, just swim like canoe down the coast. Sleep every night. Canoeing would be faster than walking.
Possibility. I don't know if we can get the canoe through the marshes, is what I was worrying about.
Uh-oh. Lost Dalton.
We could force the canoes through the marshes.
I guess we could, but...
Why don't we first plan for how we're going to handle this castle, and we'll worry about our options afterward.
I mean, it's probably good to worry about the options at the same time, because if something goes like if this all goes to hell, we probably don't want to all run in opposite directions. We probably,
I think that the best option if things go to hell is to follow the markers back.
See, but the people that work there are no.
Oh, well, we don't have to go back through there. We can, once we get to that area, we can go around. Getting lost in the swamp isn't ideal. So.
I suppose. I don't know. I just don't want to run around like a chicken with its head cut off because lizards love chicken. So.
Okay.
I do not think lizards often eat chicken.
Do you see how big these lizards are? They eat people. They can eat
But-
chicken.
Well, yes,
Oh,
they
my
probably
God,
could, but
yeah.
how would they be getting chicken here? I don't think there's chickens running
How
around
do
the
you know?
marsh.
Maybe there's chickens in the
I don't know,
castle.
maybe there's swamp chickens that I don't know.
We're
about.
about to
It's
beat
true.
chickens in the castle.
Why are we talking about chickens?
I actually don't know. That's a good question.
The canoe is creeping up to that landing as you guys are having this conversation. What would you like to do?
I would like to get out of the canoe.
Okay.
Help guide it too, so it looks like it's properly parked once we get there, and then just try and find the sneakiest route up to this place, unless anyone is hesitant to approach.
If we can get a look inside, because is this like just like a keep, like a castle with no walls on the outside, kind of thing, or?
It does have walls on the outside. Like you can see, there's a keep area that sticks out in the middle. So it does look like a genuine castle. There is this part on the right that kind of jets out, and it looks like at one time there might have been a moat dug around it, but the moat over time has gotten grown in and things of that nature, and it's overflowed. And the area around the castle is just a mud mess with heavy weeds and just thick swampy looking grass that kind of sticks up everywhere, tufts of it. It seems like there's just random trees and brush sticking up in areas, but a lot of the other areas like look clear. It looks like if you took your 4-wheel drive to a mud bog, that's kind of what the land in this area kind of looks like. It's very muddy, very wet. It smells awful as you approach. Like there's this scent of just this mud and dung that permeates your senses as you approach.
Hey, Dusk.
Yes.
I'm sure the good old hey, we're here to check the structural integrity of your castle isn't going to work here.
No, I don't. That worked that one time. I don't think it's going to work.
I think it's got a shot.
No, I don't.
Maybe not here, but then like if we were in Waterdeep, I really think it would work.
Maybe there, but not here.
Yeah, I don't know.
As you guys,
how far is the castle? Like, are we able to get right up to it, or?
Not really. You'd have to go. You have to get up. It seems like this area where they pull up the canoes is where they basically get off out of the water and they make their way to the castle by foot. It's only probably a couple hundred feet, maybe at that much away from where you guys are. You guys do notice.
I guess what I mean is, like, can we get to the castle without being seen?
Yeah, are there people patrolling?
You don't notice anything patrolling, but you guys can go ahead and make a perception check. You do notice on the left side, as this starts to open up a little bit, on the left side in the mud, there seem to be these crude huts scattered about along the landscape. They look like they're made out of vines and trees and branches and things like that are just put together. They look small, kind of almost like igloo size or something like that, but it looks like they're packed with mud and other dried plants and things. And it looks like there's just these basic huts with these small little, like, looks like crawl holes in the sides of them. What'd you guys roll?
My perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin somehow found a cappuccino machine. I rolled a natural one.
Okay.
I got 22.
22?
To balance that, I also got a 22.
22?
So-
Also got a 22.
Also got a
What?
22.
What?
Triple 22.
Three 22s and a natural 1. Look at that. You don't see any lizard men patrolling. You do catch a glimpse. It looks like in the second floor of this castle. Looks like the tiny head of these two beady eyes that are sticking on top of it. It almost looks like a frog. It blinks a few times. And then just disappears between like the battlements at the top of the castle.
Does it look like a grung? Franklin's probably run into those monsters before.
Well, Franklin, you didn't see this, so because you rolled a natural one.
Oh, that's right, I rolled a natural
so
one.
unless they tell you, you wouldn't know.
Was there any sign of recognition? Was it looking in our direction?
It looked in your direction. Just blinked.
Are there
blinked a few
tracks?
times.
Tracks that would be leading from the boats,
Are
basically.
you guys getting out of the boat and heading up onto?
Yeah,
the
I'm going up
Yeah,
to the castle.
we were out of the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys get up the boat, and there are several obvious tracks. It doesn't look like there's anything trying to hide. It looks like tons of tracks in the mud, going in all kinds of different directions. Some of them look familiar, like the Lizardfolk tracks that you've seen before. Some of them look different to you. But Franklin, you have seen some of these tracks before.
They're my own, aren't they?
No, they're not. Franklin, do you remember in our very first adventure with Delve and Dash, you guys made your way into a cave, and there was some frog-like people being harassed by a red cap.
Yeah, I remember this.
These tracks look very familiar, like resembling those frog-like humanoids that you guys stopped the red cap from harassing.
Yep. Okay. I personally don't remember what was it the Grung or was it Gripply? I don't remember.
Bullywogs.
Bullywogs. So
yep.
these are bullywog tracks.
And you do catch a few what look to be just boots, like boot tracks.
But are there any heavy, like they were carrying crates full of heavy items?
I mean, there are all sorts of different depths here. It looks like just haphazard and random. It's really hard to tell. It looks like just a ton of people have been through here and just stomping feet around in multiple different directions.
I think we should just find a place to hide. I'm afraid that whatever that thing on the top of the wall was saw us, so I think we should just find a place to hide really quick and wait to make sure that these crates go inside the.
I'm sure it's fine.
Still would rather not take.
I have
a
an
chance.
idea.
Okay.
Do you trust me?
Can you tell me what the idea is first?
Well, it would have to wait till tomorrow, actually, so it's probably not a great idea.
Probably not a great idea then. No.
I was gonna say I could disguise myself as a lizard again and bring them the box. And then they would just take me right where I gotta put it, you know?
Well, yeah, but then you'd be in there by yourself. Again, that's
and
not.
then I can turn invisible and teleport out of there and then get in a canoe.
There may be humans with them, as you recall. I do not think they would fall for that. They are.
If the lizards worship me, I'm sure the humans would fall for it. I mean,
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe you could turn the lizards against the humans, but I don't know if the humans would fall.
Franklin saw they were all like obsessed with me for some reason.
Is there any place nearby that looks like we could hide out and possibly have a decent, vantage point to see people going into the castle?
Shard, as you're taking a look around, it looks like there are a few places. To your right, it looks like there are some heavy shrubs that look like if you guys nestled in there, you could make a good hiding place there. It's not going to be comfortable, and you're not sure how long you'll have to stay there. But that is a potential place. Behind this 5-foot palisade wall, if you nestle behind it, there might be a vantage point where you guys can kind of just peek out around the corner of the backside of this wall. There also are... there's the old cartoonish aspect where if you get a reed pipe or something like that and dip in one of these like mud holes that's filled with a lot of swampy water, you can do that where you peek up every once in a while and then go back under the water. And there's those huts over on the left side that you can see. You'd have to inspect them a little bit more to get more detail. They're also in front of the castle. There look to be these elongated houses made from bent reeds and wood. They definitely look different from the mud huts over on your left. You'd have to travel past those huts a little bit to get to them, but they look much larger and much, it's a little bit better construction.
Hey, Michael, you said there are reeds around here. Can I get a short reed?
Sure.
I cast water breathing on all of us. We can breathe underwater for 24 hours.
Okay, you guys are now have water breathing as he casts his incantations upon you.
We could
There's
just go.
nothing in between us and the castle walls, right?
All that's between you is about 150 feet, and you do see a gate on the front end of this extended part of the castle. It doesn't appear to be closed. It's just open under the first floor. But that's where you saw that little frog-like creature on the second floor kind of peeking down when you guys approached.
Okay. I would like to try and sneak up to the castle and find a scalable surface of the wall.
Okay. You make your way towards the castle. You're looking around. The problem that you have, Shard, is from your location, it looks as if there is water all around the castle. It's like you travel on the mud, and then you can see the water. It looks like where that moat used to be. You do notice that one area that jets out and has the gate. As you look beyond it, it looks like there is a walkway, like a causeway that leads from that part into the actual, like, inside the inner walls complex. And there's an arch underneath it. It looks like the water just kind of goes under the arch, as if this water's probably deeper than you realize.
Okay. Does it look like it's possible to maybe climb under that arch and find a spot where I can just sort of hang out?
You'd have to swim.
Or would it be this one? Okay. Does it look like there's anything in the water?
Make a perception check.
11.
11. You're looking back and forth, and just about when you're thinking about this, yeah, there's nothing in here. I can go ahead and jump in this. It's nothing more than cold water. You look over, and you do catch a glimpse of a crocodile floating probably within 50 feet of you in the water.
Well, I guess I'll just slink back to the group. I'll let people know that there be crocodiles in them moats.
Good to know. Good to know. I think our best bet would be maybe the bushes, or the water could be dangerous if there's more crocodiles even in the open water over here where the canoes are. But anybody else have any ideas where we should hide? All right. Well, I'm gonna choose the bushes then.
As the crickets chirp.
Something on my keyboard.
How far away are those bushes from the palisade?
From the wooden fence?
Yeah.
They're actually to the right of where you guys pulled up the canoe, so honestly almost like right up against it.
So, do I think I can hide myself behind that wooden fence and maybe use my furs or whatever else is available to kind of make a second hiding spot so we're all not all clustered in exactly the same place?
Okay, so you're going to go more to the fence while they go to the bushes a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you guys...
Franklin wants to take the moss off of his shell and cake some mud on it and just, like, hunker down next to some rocks.
Okay. You can do that, sure.
And just hide in the shell.
Okay. Sounds good.
And start a...
Okay. The rest...
I'll actually maybe use the plain back of my wooden shield as...
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Disguise since wooden.
Why don't everybody go ahead and make a stealth check. And I want everybody to record your number. Because it's about this time where you guys hear some splashing coming from the area in which you guys came. as you guys are finished up hiding, you realize that it sounds like the canoes from the Lizardfolk are returning to their destination. And that's, my friends, is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Delve and Dash.